This class is being recorded so that the same video will be available for those who are not able to attend this class completely, or those who are going to miss this class completely. So the videos of each class will be available and uploaded in the group which will be created today. All right. So if you have any question, you can start asking me, or we can go to the writing part. As you know, every day we have a class. I mean, Monday to Friday, our classes start by 9 a.m. First class is 9 a.m. and the next class will be speaking, that is 10:30. Then we have a class at 12 p.m. Then we will be having a couple of tasks you have to complete before 6 p.m. Then there's a class at 6 p.m. which will be mostly about listening, and some part of writing also, sorry, grammar also will be discussed. There will be a class at 8 p.m. that can be speaking or writing. Then there will be a class, the last class of the day will be 9:15. That is predominantly reading classes. So if you attend all these classes live, or if you attend these classes with the help of a video, that will be enough for you to pass OET. Okay. So how to watch the videos is a very important part. You have to watch the video just as a live class. That means you should not simply watch just like you watch a movie or something. If you are a working professional and if you have no time to watch the live classes, I urge you, you have to watch the videos. But how to watch the video? Please listen to me, how to watch the video. You have to select a right time for watching the video for the same day, not for the next day, for the same day you have to. If you're coming from your hospital after your work, you have to watch the video without any kind of distractions, and you have to watch it very carefully. During the video, you will hear the trainer or myself or other trainers asking you, yes, something like take your pencil. If they ask you, take your pencil, okay, take your pencil. I think everybody is able to see the screen. You have to take your pencil. If they ask you to write down something, write down, you also have to write down. Okay, don't be simply a spectator. You have to be a complete student in the class. So if you do that way, you can easily manage your classes and cover your courses, your portions, by watching the videos alone. As usual, we have 50% or more than 50% of the members depend only on the videos. All right. Another thing, if you don't want to show your identity, you can change your name on Zoom. For example, your real name is like Maria. Your real name is Maria, but you don't want to expose yourself in the class because of any particular reason. Okay. There are so many reasons, you know. For example, you're coming from another institute to study only writing here. So you don't want to expose yourself as yourself. So you can change your name. So I won't worry about that. Nobody's going to worry about that. Okay. But whenever you contact us on Telegram, you have to give us the real name. So the Telegram name and the real name should be real, same. Okay. That's very important. Okay, fine. So that is all about some kind of introduction about this one. And as usual, I have a very important question. Is there anybody here in this class who is completely new to OET? How many of you are completely new to OET? I mean, attending any class for the first time? Asha, yes. Okay, please raise your hand. There is a hand raising button on your Zoom. Please raise your hands. To find out the hand, I think, Asha, can you please help somebody how to raise the hand on mobile phone? How did you raise your hand? How did you raise your hand? Like, where is that button available? Anybody can help?
Reactions.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is it at the bottom?
So just down, more button is there, more.
Bottom.
You
Okay.
have to test that more.
Okay. And the reactions, right?
And that raise.
Okay,
Yes.
raise hand. Okay, raise hand.
Yeah.
In some mobiles, it is like that. In other mobiles, it will be like you'll find a button like a reactions button. Okay, something like this one, reaction. And there also you'll find hand. You can raise your hand. Anybody else here in this class who is completely new to OET, please raise your hand. Asha, okay, you are the only one, probably the beginner here. Yes, you can put your hand down. Okay, right. So if there is anybody in this class who is completely new to OET, who has no idea that OET has got writing, reading, listening, speaking, okay? If you have no idea how these exams are conducted, don't worry, please join the next class, which will be at 10:30. During this class, you will get a clear idea about the OET examination, question pattern, and everything. All right. So we have to move on to writing today. So today is Monday. Every Monday, we have got a particular part of the writing will be discussed on Monday. Monday, we have got M and E day. On Tuesday, we have got L and O day. And on Wednesday, we have got N and S day. And on Thursday and Friday, we will be having some letter corrections. That is all about our plan for every day. Monday, M and E, Tuesday, L and O, and Wednesday, N and S, and then the remaining 2 days will be having corrections. Correction days are very important, and I would like to tell you what these M and E days. Tomorrow we will be discussing launching. Launching means the starting of the letter, opening paragraph of the letter. N stands for narration of the letter, and finally signing. Signing means yours sincerely, yours faithfully. So LONS will be discussed tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Today we are only discussing M and E, and M stands for marking and E stands for elimination. If you follow these methods just for 1 week, you'll feel confident in writing letters. And you can ask anybody in the class, the existing members, using this method, this very easy method. Everybody has reached almost 320, 330, 350, even above 350 with the help of our methods, which are the marking, elimination, okay, then launching, opening, narration, signing. Okay, so that is MELONS. Just remember these things. You will be able to write the letter. Fine. Here you can see the question paper. Please, everybody, have a look at the question paper. This is known as the question paper or the case notes of the letter. This is known as the case notes or the question paper of the letter writing. Let's start with this one. You have to read this one. Please, everybody, please read this case notes once. All of you, please read this completely. Please read this case notes from the beginning to the end. Those who have read this case notes, please raise your hands. Those who have read this case notes earlier or now, please raise your hands. everybody, please read it very, very fast. After raising your hand, please don't put the hands down. Please keep them raised. "22 out of 41 participants have raised their hands. All right, 26 of you have raised your hands. Probably some of them have not raised the hand because they don't know how to raise the hand. So around 30 people have raised the hands. So I had to move on. Come on, here is a story here. Please listen to me. All of you, please put your hands down and please don't read again. Nobody will read when I am talking something. Okay, when the trainers are speaking here, you are not supposed to read or do any other activity while you are in the class. Okay, so please listen to me completely. See here, you can hear the story of Mr. Tom Clark. Okay, can I ask you? I'm not asking any question privately to individually to anybody. If your child, so please listen to me. If your child is asking, Mama, yes, can you tell me a story? Yeah, what story do you want? You want the story of animals, birds, or human beings? No, you can tell me a story about any patient that got admitted today or yesterday, last week, last month. Okay, okay, son, I'll tell you a story of one uncle. His name is Tom Clark. Oh, tell me. He was born in this year. Okay. And where does he live? Here. Okay. And of course, the child is not going to ask for the phone number because the child is not going to contact him. Okay. So he's a married man and his wife's name is Swan. And he was once army officer, but he retired and he has 2 daughters. Okay. And he's a very quiet, active man. Okay, Mama, please tell me what is come to the story. One day, like, I mean, when 2 months ago, okay, on February 15th, this uncle, Tom Clark, he was riding a motorcycle and he had an accident. Oh, then what happened? Then he fell on his outstretched hand and he had a very severe injury and he got admitted with extreme pain and he underwent X-ray. Then what happened then? See, please don't mind my language here, okay? Because I may sound like as if I'm telling a story to you, okay? So, and then you will continue the story like he had this problem and this one, okay, and this one, and crinoid process of the ulna, okay. So the child will not understand. So you won't use that word. You will only use some easy word for that, okay? And he had marrow edema. So the child will ask, Mama, what is marrow edema? Then you won't be using such a language. You'll be using a very simple language like, he had some kind of a swelling, something like that, okay? And you won't be using any such language which the child won't understand. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Then you will continue the story and he was taken to the hospital and he had a review and on the review day he had other one and the doctor prescribed this medicine and that medicine. Okay. Of course, even the child also will not ask you a question, Mama, who prescribed? Even the child also knows that medicines are prescribed by doctors. So you will tell the story and finally he is being discharged home today and they contacted me today and I have to go there and take care of this one because I'm a physiotherapist. Oh, right. So this is the story part of the letter. Every letter has, every case notes has got a story part. Every case notes has a story part. So this is a story part here. Right. So now let me come to the point. Every letter will be having a story part. And 50% of every letter is a story part. And that is known as narration. Narration means here, you can look at this one, narration part. 25 minutes will be there for the narration. Narration means It is about the second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph. If there is a fifth paragraph, it's all about that. Opening paragraph is all about the first paragraph only. Okay. And the launching is all about the date of writing the letter, address of the patient, and other details. We call it DATS. We call it DATS. DATS means D for date, A for address, D for dear sir, madam, dear nurse, dear doctor, dear whatever you want. Okay. And then finally, we have got subject. And you know, in every letter, the subject of every OET letter is RE. You know that, RE. So we call it DADS, but today is not for DADS and narration and other things. We are only doing just these two things today, marking and elimination. So now my instruction for everybody, please take your notebook. All of you, please take your notebook. It is important. You have to take the notebook now. If you don't have a notebook, please take any paper, and you should have a pencil. If you don't have a pencil, please take a pen. No problem, you can do. Okay, so we are going to the case notes now. You have to, in this given 5 minutes, okay, 5 minutes, you have to mark all the most important elements of a letter. Which are the most important elements of a letter which we are marking? What are we going to mark? We are going to mark only these things: P, P, R, R, A, A, D, 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 W, K. This is what we are going to mark. I hope most of you are familiar with the Pradoc that we are marking. What is marking? We are going to mark first one, patient's name. Please write, everybody, especially the beginners. Today's class will be a little bit for the beginners. I will take only 5 minutes for the beginners. Others, please bear with me and stay here. After 5 minutes, we will be starting the class as usual. Okay. So every new member, please mark the patient's name here. Where is the patient's name? You can find the patient's name here. You have to find out the patient's name and the date of birth. This will be in this area. So patient's name is P. Please write down P for patient's name. P for patient's name. Please write down. It's very important. Patient's name plus age. If the age is not given, you can write the DOB, date of birth. After this one, we have to go to P2. Please go to P2 and write. P2 is purpose. Purpose of the letter. You have to write down, or on the day of the examination, you have to mark it on the case notes. You have to mark it. Okay. Marking is to be done. Patient's name, purpose. R1 is all about the recipient's name. Recipient. Recipient means the one who is going to receive the letter. Recipient name plus, if there is an address, sometimes phone number. These three things may be necessary sometimes. Phone. These three things are important, but in all the letters, address and phone number will not be important. Address and phone number are important when you are asking somebody to visit the patient. For example, a physiotherapist has to visit the patient's home. A nurse has to, for home care, a nurse also has to visit the patient's home. In some cases, a doctor also may have to visit the patient's home if the patient's condition is extremely bad. Okay, so that is R1, and we are going to the next one, that is R2, that is request. What are the requests in the letter? Usually you find the request in the discharge plan area. The discharge plan. Okay, usually you find the details in the discharge plan area, that is the request area. Please, everybody, please, you have it today, you have to learn it by heart. What is Pradoc? All that you have to learn today is what is Pradoc. First one is patient's name, second is purpose, then recipient's name, and then request, and then others are like admission condition. The next one is admission condition. Admission or presenting. Remember, there are two kinds of conditions. One is admission condition, one is presenting condition. What's the difference between that? Because every patient is not admitted. For example, if the patient is coming to see the doctor just for a follow-up, it is not an admission case. If the patient is coming to your clinic, of course, you usually don't admit a patient in a clinic. So it is also, one second, please. All right, somebody has requested for recording on the local system. Don't worry about that. This session is being recorded and the video will be presented in the group. So don't worry about recording it in the in your own phone or in your own computer. Okay, so that is not really permitted. Okay, admission condition or presenting condition. A patient is coming to your facility, to your clinic, and what was the condition of the patient at that time? Only at that time, remember. Like, for example, a patient got admitted with a small fracture a week ago, and today the patient is having some other condition. So we have to talk only about the fracture. That's known as admission or presenting condition. Okay, the next one is A1 and what is that? A2, right? I missed the A2. A2 means admission date. Admission or presenting date. Date is important. Okay, so that is admission date or presenting date. The next one is discharge condition. Discharge condition or transfer condition. Remember, every patient is not always discharged. Some patients get discharged and some patients get transferred. And you should know the reasons. A discharge happens when the patient is almost recuperating. What is recuperation? Improvement. Okay, there is a progress in the patient's condition. There we do discharge. If the patient is not recuperating, if the patient's condition is not improving, are you going to discharge the patient to home? No, you will be doing the transfer at that time. Remember the difference between discharge and transfer. A discharge happens when the patient's condition is at least 90% cured. And a transfer happens when the patient's condition is only 10% curable, or there is no possibility of, there's no potential progress in the condition, then we transfer the patient. Remember the difference here, it's very important. Okay, so you discharge the patient when the patient's progress is positive, and you transfer a patient when the patient's progress is negative. I hope it is clear to you. You can ask me questions after completing this Pradoc area. Okay, anybody can ask any number of questions during the class, no problem. Okay, then we have got the discharge or transfer date. I think it's very clear to you. I don't know how to explain that. I'm sorry about my throat today. I'm not at all feeling well, but because it is the first day of the class of the month, I don't want to give you disappointment. That's the reason I'm conducting this class. Okay, so I'll be okay, no problem. Okay, so next one, that is discharge condition, discharge date, and then what is the next one? That is date of everybody's sleeping.
Date of writing.
I know why you're not speaking. I know, because you know that I'm very fast in the class. So for everybody's sake, you are keeping silence. I know, but still you can speak in between, no problem. I like it, because otherwise I'll feel like I am alone in the class. I'll feel scared of being alone. Okay, so you can just remind me that I'm not alone in the class, so it will be good. Okay, fine. Date of writing, that is D3. D4 is a very interesting one, whether the patient is diagnosed or not diagnosed. A very important one. If a patient is diagnosed, in your facility, what will you do? Basically, if the patient has been diagnosed, basically the treatment also has been started. That is sure. In very limited cases, you may have to transfer the patient after diagnosis, because your facility, your hospital does not have a particular treatment. Then you will have to transfer the patient to another facility for treatment. Otherwise, you will diagnose and then you will treat, and then the progress also may be possible. Progress also may be there. Suppose you have diagnosed a patient, but when there is no treatment, what is next? You will transfer. All right. Then Suppose you have diagnosed a patient, you have provided treatment, but there is no progress. Again, you will transfer. Okay, one more situation. You have diagnosed the patient, you have treated the patient, there is progress is positive, and then what will you do? You will
Research.
correct. Those who understand this algorithm is very interesting one. Actually, I understood this one after teaching almost for 1 year. I understood the connection here. If you got a patient and if the patient is diagnosed, then you will treat. If you treat and if the progress is there, then you will discharge. At the same time, you got a patient diagnosed, you started treatment, but there is no progress, and then you will transfer the patient. So the transfer comes when you cannot provide something here. For example, a patient comes, you admitted the patient, okay, but you failed to diagnose the patient's condition. What will you do? You will transfer. Okay, suppose the patient got admitted and you diagnose the patient, but you have no treatment. Again, you will have to transfer. You got the patient admitted, you diagnosed, you treated, but there is no progress, then you have to transfer. Now again, you got a patient admitted, you got the patient diagnosed, you got the patient treated, you found a lot of progress in the patient, then that is the end. When the patient is progressing, why do you have to transfer to another facility? You can discharge the patient. This is a very beautiful connection in OET letter writing. Some of you may not understand everything today, so please don't try to understand everything on the first day. You have almost 1 month to understand everything. I request all the beginners, if you're a beginner, you just stay here for a week, you will understand everything. After understanding, if you feel like these classes are beneficial, you can make the payment and you can continue. Otherwise, you can leave the class and you don't have it. Because I tell you honestly, everybody cannot feel comfortable in an online class. Online class is good for some people. Offline class is good for some people. Most of the people like offline classes if they have a, if they can. But at the same time, many people like online classes also. But one condition is that they have to follow all the instructions of the online classes. Okay, fine. I'm not going into the class details, but I'm coming to marking. We are doing marking today. Today is the marking day and the elimination day. We have to do 2 things today, and only then the class will be over. Okay, so that is D1, D2, D3, D4, and the next one is D5. Very interesting one. D5 is all about what is that? D5.
Direction.
Direction.
Yeah, direction, correct. Direction means it is a very important one. There are basically 3 kinds of direction: ABC, ABA, and ABB. What is ABB? Suppose you are working in B. Always you will be working in B. B means in a hospital or anywhere. A patient is coming from the patient's home to your facility. A patient is coming from the patient's home. Okay. And the patient is coming to your facility where you are a nurse or a doctor. And then you start treating the patient, but unfortunately, the patient is not showing any progress, and you are transferring the patient to C, A, B, C. Source or origination, or okay, the starting point, your facility and the other facility, A, B, C. So remember, don't forget this one. Almost 20% of the OET letters are ABC type. Another one is ABA. The patient is coming from home. You start treating the patient recovers, you send the patient back to the same place, ABA. ABA cases are known cases. That is another beautiful part of this one. ABA cases are known cases because you are sending the patient back to the same person. Okay. In ABC cases are unknown cases. Mostly, not everybody, not all of them, but most of them are unknown cases because you are sending the patient to a new facility, C. Okay. And ABC ABA, and another one. The last one is ABB. ABB means A, B1 to B2. A patient is coming from home or any other facility coming to one department of your hospital, and you are sending the same patient to another department of the same hospital, from ward to emergency or from emergency to ward, or it can be from anywhere to anywhere. So this is it: ABC, ABA, and ABB. Anybody having any confusion, you can ask me. That is all about D1, sorry, D5, and we have got W and K. W is all about who are you, writer. You are a nurse, you are a doctor, and you have to change yourself. You have to change yourself, okay, writer. Okay, then the last one is it a known case or a not known case? Known case means, what is the meaning of known case? Is the patient known to the recipient? That is known as known cases. If the patient is known to the doctor or the recipient, whoever is a recipient, does the recipient know the patient? Yes. Why? Because he is a GP. Whose GP? Patient's GP or any GP? Patient's GP. Yeah, then that means it's a known case. So these are the Prado. Now listen, everybody, you have to start marking now. Those who did not write it on notebook, please write it now. I'm giving you just 1 minute's time. You're supposed to write it on your notebook. I think it is very clear to everybody what is Pradok. Remember, pronounce it like Pradok. Okay, PPRRAADDWK. There are 5 Ds. DD, DDD, 5K. Please learn it by heart right now, please, everybody. PP, RRAA, 5D, and 1 W and K. I think everybody remembers. How many of you can raise your hands who have learned this one by heart? Please raise your hands. Pradok. Those who understood Pradok, those who can say Pradok whenever they are asked to say, please raise your hands. Please, everybody, those who understood Pradok, please raise your hands. It's very important. Some of you, especially some newcomers, will be feeling, what is this? Pradok? What is Pradok? Okay, they'll be feeling like that. What is the benefit of Pradok? After this 1 week, you will understand what is the importance of our methods. So this is all about the marking. We are going to start marking right now. We are going to do the marking right now. If you have not taken note of this one, the video will be available, so don't worry. So here we are starting Pradok. Look at this one, please. Everybody, please look at this. P stands for patient's name. And here we have got the P. It's starting here. P1, and then we have to go directly to P2. P2 is here. Purpose. P1, P2. What is PP? R and R. What is R? This is R. I mean, oh, how can I show you this one? I mean, yeah, it's just here. Amit Kumar, physiotherapist, recipient. Okay. PPRR. What is the request? Which are the requests here? What are the requests in this one? Once again. Okay, request here. What are the requests that you have for Mr. Amit Kumar? Do this one, do that one.
Rehabilitation program, sir.
Yeah, so same thing. That means the request and purpose are supposed to be the same thing here. Okay, so in some of the letters you will find in this area, that means just before the writing task area, you will see discharge plan. In the discharge plan, you will see do this one, do that one, arrange this, arrange that. Some kind of 3 to 5 requests will be there. But in this one, there is no particular request here. Okay, so but at the same time, you can see that this tab can be administered. This tab can be administered. Okay, and there is a follow-up appointment which he may have to arrange, probably, we don't know. Okay, and then arrange home visits by physiotherapist for rehabilitation. Okay, somewhere we can find these are the requests in this one. Although this is the same as purpose, there is no particular request here. This is to be considered as a request. So PPRR, then where is the A, admission condition? Admission condition.
Presenting condition.
Where is the admission condition mentioned here?
15th date, sir.
Which one? 15th date. Okay,
15th,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Admission condition and admission date all will be found here. Admission condition and admission date are here. See how it is moving. Everybody listen here. How it is moving from here. Yeah.
Presenting condition, sir. Not
Yeah,
admitted.
present. Admission. Oh yeah, really, of course. No, he was admitted, right?
No, sir.
No, sir, it's
Presented.
not an admission, sir. It's only a presentation.
Presented only.
On which date? On this date?
Yeah, on
Yes, 15th.
today's 15th, he presented, and the next year follow-up appointment, sir.
Listen, listen, listen. A patient who met with an accident.
29th.
Yes.
Okay. A patient who is getting, who has met with an accident will just present and go.
Yes, sir. In this letter,
He
like
just
that only.
came to the emergency and he just did the initial treatment and he sent back to home.
Yes.
And the next appointment in 6 weeks time, sir. So the next appointment has taken place at 30th. Then
30th.
again, he came at 29th.
29th.
This is the scenario, sir.
There is no admission mentioned here.
No
No, sir.
admission, only he presented to ER, that's all.
Very good.
Yeah.
So admission condition or presenting condition, you have to understand the difference between that. So maybe some of the beginners may not be able to understand the difference between admission condition and admission date. So you have to see here whether the patient got admitted or sorry, or was it simply a presentation? Okay. So after this one, where are we going? PPRRRAA. What is admission date? Both will be here. Admission or presenting date will be here. And after that, we are going to D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. Let's go to D1 area. Where is the D1? Where is the D1? What's the last date? Discharge or transfer? Anywhere?
Same day. 15th only the
No, presenting. I mean,
multiple present is 29th 4, sir. That is the last.
29th 4.
2 days late. 2 days
29th.
late. Date.
yeah,
Yes.
this will
2
be.
days late.
So PPRRAA D1 and what is the present condition now? What is the patient's present condition now?
Now,
Complaints of stiffness and limited
stiffness
range
and
of motion.
limited mobility.
Range of motion in elbow.
Yeah.
Range of motion.
That is D1, D2. We are moving to the D3. What is the D3, please? D3.
Writing
Date of writing.
Yes.
29th
2 days
April.
late. 29th 4, sir.
This will be the date of
Sir.
writing. So D3 is done. Now tell me, what is a D4? Is the patient diagnosed or not diagnosed?
Diagnosed.
patient-
Dislocation already they have
Diagnosed.
mentioned.
Yeah, the
sir.
patient's condition is diagnosed. That is the reason why we know that the patient's treatment also started. Okay. So this one diagnosis is also here and the treatment also was provided. And then tell me, what is the next one? That is D5. What is
ABA. sir.
is it
ABA.
ABA?
Yes.
Are you
Yes,
sending
sir.
are you sending the patient back to
Home, sir.
Home.
Home.
They're requesting the physiotherapist for home visit only, no, sir.
yeah, the patient is going back to
Home.
the patient is going back to home. A, B, A is there. Okay. Then we have got the last ones. Writer. Who is a writer?
Senior nurse.
Writer. Here. Okay.
Ramona Decker.
Romana
Fine. Okay.
Decosta.
And then last one. Is it a known case or a not known case?
It's not non-case.
It's a
Of course, it is a not known case because we are writing to a physiotherapist who has no
physiotherapist.
who has no connection with the. So this is how we find the marking. You have to mark all these things. Only then you can start writing the letter. So nobody is going to start writing the letter without marking. So marking is very important one. I hope it is almost clear to you. Okay, so we have done the marking part almost. So you know, after 1 month of training, you don't even have to mark like this. You will automatically get it. There are some of the members in this class who have completed more than 1 month training. So they are able to understand it, just like, you know, a robot is able to see with the robotic eye. They are also able to see all the important details here. So they are experts in this one now. Okay, so we have understood the first part of the marking is done now. We have found out all the marking. So marking is basically understanding the case notes in a deeper and in a very exact way. So marking is done here. We have to move on to the E part now. What is E? Marking and elimination. We have to eliminate some of the details from this letter. We have to eliminate some of the details from this letter which are not useful for the physiotherapist. Now, you have to tell me which are the unimportant details from this one. Can somebody tell me from the first part onwards? Do you find anything irrelevant in this area?
No, sir, it's all
Social
required.
background.
It's completely fully required, right? Even the phone number is also required.
Yes, sir.
Even the address is also required. Why? Because the
Because it's a
physiotherapist has
home
to,
visit.
yeah, the physiotherapist has to go to the patient's home. So everything here is completely relevant, and that is not to be removed from the letter. That means you have to include all these things in the letter. Coming to the social background, are you going to mention all of them here or not?
No, sir.
Which one can you remove?
No. Yes, sir.
None of them?
We can, no, sir, we can
Yes, sir,
include some
retired
of the hobbies, sir, like cycling and playing golf and tennis. Since we are writing to the physiotherapist and he has some problem with the injury to this one. So there will be some connection with the cycling and playing golf and tennis. So we can include that hobbies. Can avoid remaining, but I think we can include these two.
Okay, 1 second. I think you have said that, Alfonso has said that these are important here. I too agree with this. These can be beneficial for the physiotherapist in 2 ways. One way, during the progress time, that means the time when the patient is recovering, maybe since he's having a hobby like cycling, the physiotherapist can ask him to do cycling to improve his or to speed up his progress, his recovery. I mean, a mild way of cycling, mild way of other sports. But watching movies doesn't have any importance here. Watching movies can be removed from here. Okay, every other things can be included here because they are connected to his physical movement, and physical movements can really help back the patient to get back to the former condition. Okay, because this one also is involved in this one. Also, since he is having this hobby, the patient may start doing cycling and other things if the patient is not warned. So he should be warned also against this one. Okay, so this also can be included. But when you include something, you should give a reason for that. So like, please note, Mr. So-and-so has, the habit of this one, which may impair his progress if he is not properly advised and monitored. Okay, so you can include that part here. So for that, you'll be getting an extra mark for writing this letter. Okay, so this can be included, but watching movies and TVs is not connected to his recovery and his condition. Okay, now he's a quite active person. Do you have to mention this one?
Yes, we can, sir.
What is the benefit of telling this to the physiotherapist? Because the physiotherapist is going to the patient's home and he will definitely understand that he's a very quiet, active person. By watching his movement, by listening to him, he can understand. So this quite active doesn't give you very much importance. So you have to be good at removing, which is not very important for the physiotherapist in this case. I'm going to remove this one. It's not very important. He has 2 daughters. Elder daughter works in Sydney, younger daughter Adelaide. And what is his age? What is his age right now?
Date of birth has given, sir.
Yeah, the
58, sir.
yeah, he must be, what is his age? 50?
58.
Yeah, so he's not very old, but of course he's not very young too. So therefore, so 2 daughters and they are abroad. What is the use of telling them? So it can be completely removed from here. Yeah, it is completely
68.
irrelevant. Yeah, tell me.
Age is 68, sir.
68, okay, yeah, I was also a little
68.
confused about that. Okay, so we are removing this also. Now he's a retired army officer. Is it going to help you? He's a retired army officer. From the age we
sir.
understand he's already a retired person. From the age we understand he's retired, 68, okay. And he's an army officer. So do you think that a physiotherapist has a particular treatment for army officers and particular treatment
No.
for teachers, particular
No.
treatment for, okay. So that's not important. Retired and these are already understood. So, and he's married. If he's having a wife, that means he's married. So you can even remove this also. Okay, married means wife. Wife means married. Okay, so wife is Miranda Clark, and his name is Tom Clark. Definitely, his name, the tail will be added to the wife as usual. Okay, okay. So Miranda is just enough, and maybe the only thing Miranda can be just included here. Even this may not be very important because once he reaches home, he will understand. He will, of course, understand that it is wife and her name is Miranda. What is the benefit of knowing her name? The only benefit is in case he has to contact and somebody is picking the call. Hello, is it Miss Clark? Yes, Miranda. Yes, I am Mr. Ram. What's his name? Okay, Amit Kumar. Amit Kumar. I have been asked to visit your home. Can you please tell me your address? I am on the way now. Something like that. That is the only possibility of this one. Otherwise, all these things are totally unnecessary. And the age of the wife is okay, but still the wife is not very young, so that some kind of help can be provided to the physiotherapist for lifting him or for moving him. So even that, in that case also, it's not very important. So you can include almost all the things except the name. Okay, this will be, it can be included if you want. Otherwise, it is not even. They live together can be included because at least some kind of help can be given to the patient when the physiotherapist is not available. You know, there is a mention of the medicines mentioned here. So the wife can administer the pain medication in case the physiotherapist is not able to do that. So that is how we decide what is important and what is not important. So whatever is in red color are unimportant. Whatever is in green and black color are important or relevant information. All right, coming to the surgical history area, tell me, which one are you going to remove from here? Are you going to tell all these things?
No, sir.
Only the first.
The first one also long years back, sir. That
Since it's a long also,
yes.
I think
And the right ankle also. Now the complaint is for left ankle.
Okay. All right. So,
Sir,
yeah, tell me.
sir, I have a doubt.
Mhm.
We are writing the letter to physiotherapist. He
Yeah.
is a paramedical staff. Okay.
Okay.
So why should we include a social background, then surgical history, medical history? There is no need actually.
Yeah, that's what everybody is asking now. Yeah, we are just discussing the same thing. He is a
Yeah.
paramedic. Okay, fine, we understand. But of course, he has to take care of the patient almost completely, including the medical part also. I mean, especially about the administration of the medicine also will be done by these same people because they are paramedics. That name very clearly indicates that. So now the question is it important to mention that he had another ankle location in
That
19?
is
Yeah.
no, sir. That is long year back, no, sir.
Okay, it is long year back, but he has a habit of, or he has a history of this one. Like,
But
hmm?
till to date, he is perfectly all right with that ankle now. So they are not mentioned anything about that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Because
they wrote like ankle dislocation means it's a severe one, na, sir? So it's
Yeah.
needed maybe. It's a dislocation, complete dislocation.
Hmm. Okay.
And in
Why?
addition,
Yeah. Tell me.
location that he has healed up. So he's not having that experience presently. So that case is not supposed to be included.
Must be included.
No, not.
Yes. Yeah, maybe the past medical history doesn't seem to be very important, especially the anal fistula. They are not at all connected to this one.
Only thing we can
because in that hand only,
writing to physiotherapist, because physiotherapist is the one who is providing physiotherapy for the patient. So he should know the patient had this ankle dislocation surgery some year ago. So it is, I think we can include that, only that point.
Only that point seems to be, yeah.
I disagree, sir.
Yes, sir, because if physiotherapist didn't know that he's having ankle dislocation, and if performing any kind of means exercise on that ankle only, then it may be hurt for patient. No?
Correct,
So it's
correct.
needed.
That is really sensible. That is really sensible. So we are going to include that part because he is having a history of the recurrent. Yeah. Tell me.
What's the benefit of this ankle dislocation to the present one? Look at the year 1989, and in the case he never mentioned with that. So it shows that he had it and that got treatment.
Christy, you are not audible, Christy. I understand, Christy. I understand what you're trying to say is, since it is long back, it is not very relevant for today. So we can, at the same time, there is a point here. He is already having an ankle dislocation and he underwent a surgery, which is a major surgery. And he is having a special love for car accident. Okay. So he may even continue to fall in front of a car in the future also. Okay. Anyway, that the physiotherapist cannot do anything. But still, when just like Reena told, there is a point here, and also even Alfonso also told the same thing. I have to disagree with you, Christy, because see, not completely, but of course it is important. I have to stand with what is really more sensible here. So if, for example, that is Reena's point, what she said is, if the physiotherapist is suggesting any kind of, exercise program which involves his the right angle, okay, so that can, so it is better that he knows about that one.
sir, but he has now he has problem with the left hand also.
Yeah.
That the rehabilitation program will give to the left hand only because he has a stiffness and some kind of other problems in the left hand only, no, sir.
Then what
not
about
all
walking?
body, no, sir.
Okay, but
Not all.
Yeah, most of these exercise programs will basically involve the leg. The lower extremity is more involved in that one. Therefore, it is better to mention what is wrong. It can be
So
mentioned.
what's mean, because if you are giving the left leg exercises, the part of left leg strength, it goes to right leg, because they have to their feet has to be strongly stand in the floor. So the pressure will go towards the right leg. So the right leg is must almost, I think.
Yeah, it's not a very serious one. Okay, just like Christy told earlier, I can agree with Christy a little bit, but not completely. Christy, see, we have to go for, the majority things is like ankle dislocation. The right ankle dislocation just can be mentioned here. And he was hospitalized for 3 weeks is totally not important, because anybody can assume that, because if you are having a surgery like this one, definitely that's understandable. And then septoplasty, okay, no problem. Probably septoplasty happened because of the same accident that time, okay, but that is not connected to this one. We can avoid that one. It's not important. Septoplasty can be removed. Hospitalized for this one should be removed. These are not important here. Eye replacement lens surgery was there. That was in 2014. Can you try to connect the accident, the recurrent accident, with the his impaired vision? His vision is not really good. He's having eye replacement lens surgery. That was not very far away. That was in 2014. So can we add this one or not? Tell me, I don't know. Are you going to add this or not?
He is not.
Why not? Physiotherapist, he is not going to do anything with the eye replacement.
He is not going to. He is not going to. But see, you can notice one thing. He has a follow-up appointment on this date. See, remember, follow-up appointment.
That is the same hospital now, sir.
Yeah.
But that same hospital, they know about the eye replacement lens surgery, maybe.
That is good. That's good. Yeah, you're right. Seems to be. So this may not be also very important one. Anybody please supporting this one? Anybody supporting this? Eye replacement lens surgery 2014 important or not?
No, sir. I think I'm not.
For a doctor, it is important, sir.
Yeah, really. Oh, yeah, fine. You're fine. You're right. You're right. Okay, fine. Correct. Okay. So coming to the next one, the medical history part. What are you going to include or exclude from here? Is hypertension connected to his present condition?
Yes, we can add, sir.
We can add.
So semi-relevant we can take because
Semi-relevant.
yeah, the hypertension already they have mentioned did not seek the treatment till 2007.
Yeah.
That means the BP may raised because of the reason also he has
now
fell down.
now managed
Now
managed with the Ramipridine.
Ramipridine, yeah, he's using Ramipridine, but it is now being managed. But my question is
why we have to write to the physiotherapist, sir?
If it is for a nurse, we can.
Yes, if it is a nurse, we can mention this, but we are writing to the physiotherapist, and he can't do anything for that.
Okay, so like for example, he's giving some rigorous activities or some kind of special kind of exercise program. Can hypertension clash with that?
Yes,
No.
of course, it can increase it because of the pressure.
Is it a very serious issue?
It's not serious, but it is a semi-relevant, sir. If you are giving the pressure or we giving more exercises, the BP, the pressure may increase to the patient. So if physiotherapist knows if he's a hypertensive patient, he can balance the exercises.
How many of you agree with that
This is
idea?
semi-relevant.
This idea, how many of you agree?
I actually understand what she's trying to say, but I think the medical history is just a distraction.
Distraction, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's a distraction, yeah.
It's not relevant, sir.
It is just like she told, it's something like a semi-relevant one. So we can avoid this one. Basically, this is not really important. Also, we are not writing to a doctor and the patient's diagnosis is done. For all these reasons, I'm removing the entire medical history. Even this, yeah, this is the only exception for this one, for the surgical history. It can be definitely, it can be told to this, to the physiotherapist can be told about this one. Coming to this one, now we are coming to this date onwards. I think everything should be important, or is there anything that you want to remove from here?
No, sir, it's important.
Before you give me the answer, you have to understand one thing. The patient's treatment is over. So,
but we have to
motorbike.
But we have to mention also, sir.
Like here.
Just he met with an accident. That's enough, sir.
No, wait.
This is a story, no, sir.
It's a part of the story. Yeah, we have to mention this one for two reasons. Reason number one, if you don't mention these things, the letter will be too short. There will be nothing to write. Second reason,
exactly, sir.
Yeah, the second reason is more important here. It was an accident. If it was between two cycles, the impact of collision was not that big, but it was between a cycle and motorbike. Of course, the impact is much more. Maybe a physiotherapist understands it more than anybody else understands this. Not more than, of course, because there are doctors who understand better. Okay. So here, it was between a motorbike and a cycle can be mentioned. This is something not very important one, but you can. This is only to show the impact of collision. The impact of collision is important for physiotherapist. Claimed he was going at a moderate speed. Of course, these are completely irrelevant. Okay, so left side of his body landed on. Landed on the left side of the body is not okay. Sorry. Yeah, this part can be included here. This part can be included here, but basically this is more important for the doctor. Okay, for the doctor, it is more important, not for the physiotherapist. Okay, because the physiotherapist is getting a patient who has completed his initial treatment from a hospital. So his only duty is to provide him maximum exercise program and other programs. So now tell me, is it important? Are you going to include or not?
Yes, injury to left elbow needed. So presented here, a limited range of motion and extreme pain. And these and all needed, sir. And that X-ray.
See, I'm going to include this one, not because it is highly important, but otherwise this letter will be very small. So we are including that one. Also, it is okay. We can include X-ray showed non-displaced fracture of the. Yeah, this is important because the physiotherapist should understand the. I mean, these details are also important for the physiotherapist. We have to. Anybody having any disagreement? Please tell me about this one. In fact, those who have completed 1 month course, they can easily understand this is not really relevant, but we have to include, otherwise the letter will be very, very small. We have removed many of the information from here. All right. So the treatment provided is to be included here. Okay. Are you going to remove something from here?
No, sir. Needed. Needed, sir.
Yeah. So the story part, just the story part is here. So anybody please tell me anything else you want to remove?
Next appointment in 6 weeks time. Is it needed, sir?
Okay, you can and he was sorry and then this paragraph will have to end this way, and he was 1 second.
Was advised to follow up.
Advised to.
Yeah, he was
advised to follow up.
Advised to follow up. Yeah, follow up. Follow up.
After 6 weeks?
In 6 weeks time or after 6 weeks. In 6 weeks time is better than after 6 weeks. Okay. After means it can be after any time. Okay. After is not very clear about it. In 6 weeks means within that time frame. After means it can be after 6 weeks, after 7 weeks. It can even go beyond that. So in is better than after. Okay. So some kind of disturbance, Sharu. Okay. Now, okay, got it. So this is how we have to write that line. Fine. Now we are going to include this also. There's no problem with including this. And the next, the visit was there. We'll also, of course, include. Yeah.
Yes, needed, sir. 31.
Yeah, we are also including this one, and that is March, and this is April. Complaints of stiffness. Yeah, especially towards the end of this, everything will be completely important here. Okay. These two tabs can be mentioned here. Arrange home visits by physiotherapist for rehabilitation program. Complaints of stiffness, and you know how to. If you are writing this letter, like you'll have to write this way. Today, he revisited complaining of stiffness and the limited range of motion in the elbow, full stop. Then you will be including this one here later on, and you'll be adding it here. This you'll be mentioning tab D-gain was prescribed for like 4 times a week.
That is on 13th date already mentioned also has been we needed to write.
Yeah, so he was asked to continue the same medicines. Okay, tab. Okay, yeah, same thing. Yeah, yeah, he has been. Or no, sorry, today.
Today, sir, today's date. No, sir, this medicines and all on 30th date. We can write like that, I think. No, because today they are not mentioned about mention anything about tablet, no, sir.
I think
that 30th on the 30th date they mentioned about tablets and all. That is a tablet D-gain and and CM plus
Okay.
have been described like
But
that.
what about this one? What about these two? The same thing, repetition here?
Yes, that is the same tablet, no?
So that's
30
why.
count.
So we have to say he has been advised to continue the same medicines. He has to continue the same medication yet right here. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, coming to that one, complaints of stiffness. Okay, so everything will be included here. And yeah, this much of information is, see, actually this class, this elimination round class is such a boring class. People cannot even stay in the class for a long time. Why? Because we are discussing, we are going so deep into the things. But you know, understand one thing, if you commit any small mistake in this one, you will definitely lose your score, because OET has been very strict about you know, this kind of information, irrelevance and irrelevance. If you include any irrelevant information for the recipient, you will lose your score. You may be an expert in writing letter, your grammar may be excellent, but if you make a mistake in this one, you are definitely going to lose your score. Some people, after writing the exam, sir, I don't know, this is really, OET is very bad. I mean, I don't trust OET. Why? Because I was always getting score 350, 340, 380 in writing. I don't know what happened. Okay, maybe she or he may be right, but at the same time, understand, OET is always waiting for cutting your mark. OET doesn't want everybody to pass. OET wants only those who are excellent in, you know, taking care of the minute details. Only are welcome to UK, New Zealand, Australia, America, all those countries. That means if you are careless about such a small mistake, you will be careless about administering a very sensitive medicine in the when you are working in those countries. Okay, so that's a very important one. We have completed M and E almost today and tomorrow's class will be tomorrow. 9 a.m. class will be about the writing of the letter will be starting tomorrow. So this we have completed in 1 hour. You have to complete it within 5 to 10 minutes. That means marking and elimination should be done in less than 10 minutes or maybe 8 minutes you have to complete. So this is part of our, I mean, this is the first day of our writing, and we will meet tomorrow again. And we have a class at 10:30. That class is completely free for every new member, only for today, because today's classes are completely free. Please don't miss any of the classes. So have a nice day. If you have any question, please ask me now.
It will be TPRPP.
This one, thank you for accepting. Okay, that's a good question. Is it TPRPPD or PRPPD? There is no mention whether you have arrange home visits by physiotherapist for rehabilitation program. So is the physiotherapist already contacted by you?
No, sir. We are now
You're writing for the first time?
Yes.
If you are writing to Mr. Amit Kumar for the first time, it will be PRPPD. If you have already contacted Mr. Amit Kumar in some way, over phone or any other way, if it is mentioned, then it will be TPRPPD. Okay. Okay, fine. Don't worry. Maybe some beginners will be wondering what is this PRPPD and TPRPPD. So tomorrow we'll be discussing that. So take a rest and come back at 10:30. So the class will be starting within less than 30 minutes. I mean, or almost 15 minutes. We are going to start this class. So take a break and come back. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.